I saw the moment the legend shattered, and truth is, it wasn't loud. It was terrifyingly quiet. I was close enough to see the sweat purling on Cadet Vance's hairline, close enough to smell the ozone burning off the shield generators. He stood inside the guard of warlord Raxan, intimacy usually reserved for lovers or executioners, his small, pale hand resting almost gently against the warlord's chestplate. That obsidian armor was legendary, indestructible, or so we thought. I remember the way Vance looked up, not with fear but with a kind of clinical sorrow. He didn't look like a soldier in that moment. He looked like a surgeon about to make the first incision. The air in the arena felt thin, pulled tight as a violin string, and then a crack, a sound like a glacier splitting, coming from the chest of a god. But I'm getting ahead of myself. To understand the breaking, you have to understand the weight. 3 hours earlier, the mood in the Apex Citadel was entirely different. Look, the Citadel is designed to make you feel small, high-vaulted ceilings, lights that hum with the frequency of dying stars, and species so large they have to duck to enter the mess hall. Humans were the new joke on campus. Soft, squishy. We called them glass dolls. I admit, even I laughed when I saw Cadet Vance. He looked like a breeze could knock him over, sitting there reading a datapad while giants stomped around him. Then came Vrax. Vrax wasn't just big. He was a geological event wrapped in powered armor. He was the kind of bully who didn't just want to win. He wanted to humiliate. I watched him loom over Vance's table, casting a shade that swallowed the human whole. The cafeteria went quiet. We all wanted to see the glass doll break. Vrax knocked the datapad out of Vance's hand. It clattered a harsh plastic sound against the metal floor. "Go home to your cradle, little thing," Vrax rumbled. The sound vibrated in my teeth. The apex is for predators, not prey. I waited for the flinch. I waited for the human to scramble back, to apologize, to run. But Vance, he just sighed. It was a tired sound, heavy with a patience that felt older than his face. He picked up the pad, dusted it off, and looked Rax in the eye. That gaze, it was unsettling. It was the look of someone calculating structural integrity. "Predators don't announce themselves, warlord," Vance said softly. "They just eat." The room gasped. I saw Vrax's mandibles twitch, his pride stinging more than any weapon could have managed. He leaned in, closing the distance until their faces were inches apart. 30 seconds, Vrax hissed, the smell of ammonia and hot metal rolling off him. "Survive 30 seconds in the ring with me, little doll, and I resign my commission. Fail, and you leave in a bio bag." It was a death sentence. Everyone knew it. Physics says mass wins. Biology says an exoskeleton crushes soft tissue. But the arena was a pressure cooker waiting to blow. I was standing near the barrier, close enough to feel the floor vibrate as Vrax paced. He looked like a siege engine, all hard angles and kinetic potential. Vance just stood there. He'd taken off his jacket, rolling up his sleeves to reveal arms that looked, well, impossibly ordinary. Pale skin, blue veins, nothing that suggested he could stop a moving wall of obsidian. When the signal dropped, Vrax didn't hesitate. He launched a backhand meant to liquefy bone. I flinched. I think we all did. But Vance wasn't there. I don't mean he ran. I mean he shifted. It was terrifyingly efficient. He stepped inside the arc of the blow, moving with a speed that blurred the air. See, on low-gravity worlds, creatures grow tall and lanky. But Earth? Earth is a heavy, crushing rock. Gravity breeds monsters in soft skin. Vance's bones weren't glass. They were compressed calcium steel, forged in a gravity well twice as heavy as Apex Prime. Vance was suddenly inside Vrax's personal space in intimate, suffocating proximity. I saw the warlord's eyes widen. He hadn't expected the human to be right there, staring up at him with that calm, surgical focus. "Too slow?" Vance whispered. I barely heard it over the crowd's roar, but I saw Vrax stiffen. The warlord tried to grapple, to crush the human against his chest, but Vance used the momentum against him. He pivoted, grounding his stance physics in motion. He drove his palm upward, right into the center of Vrax's chest plate. It didn't look like a hard hit. It looked like a touch, a transfer of energy. But the sound, crack, it wasn't the dull thud of flesh. It was the sharp, agonizing report of structural failure. That indestructible obsidian spider webbed outward from Vance's palm. The vibration traveled through the armor, through the warlord's body, and I swear I saw the shockwave ripple through Vrax's very soul. The giant stumbled back, gasping, clutching his chest as shards of black armor fell like rain between them. The silence that followed was heavy. It was the silence of a shattered legend. Vance didn't press the attack. He just stood there, breathing evenly, watching the giant fall to one knee. Rax looked at his fractured chest, then at the small, fragile-looking creature who had broken it. The realization hit him, and it hit the rest of us too. We had mistaken density for fragility. We had mistaken calmness for weakness. "I believe that was 12 seconds, Vance said, checking his wrist as if he were late for a train. He looked down at the kneeling warlord, not with malice, but with a terrifying indifference. "Do you need the other 18? Rax shook his head. His mandibles were trembling. It wasn't pain, it was pure primal terror. He had looked into the eyes of a predator that didn't need claws to kill. He yielded right there, his voice a broken rasp on the floor. "I resign." The arena didn't cheer immediately. We were too busy reprocessing everything we knew about the galaxy's food chain. I watched Vance walk away, picking up his jacket like he just finished a shift at a desk job. Truth is, the galaxy is full of loud monsters. We see them coming a mile away. But the humans? They're the ones you have to watch out for. They smile, they shake your hand, and they let you think you're in charge. But under that soft skin, they're waiting. And I realized then, as Vance disappeared into the corridor, that we were never the apex predators here. We were just the ones loud enough to get eaten first. Vance didn't blink. He just nodded. A small, sad movement. "Accepted," he whispered, "but never bet against an evolution of survival."